Okay, so for my ciabatta, the first thing we need to do for my recipe is to make a ferment. It's called a biga, also known as a sponge in English, but biga sounds much better. It's a tight ferment. You can do a liquid version, that's poolish sometimes. So it's a very simple mix of water, fresh yeast, 5 grams of yeast. You can use dried yeast also if you want to. Mix it together, and then with a scraper, we're going to mix it together. So I use a very strong bread flour, or you can use some ciabatta flour, of course. You need something about 15% protein. It works very well. You're not trying to make a soft dough with this. You try to make a very rough dough. So if you choose to do this on a mixer, don't overmix it on a mixer. Just bring it together. Don't try to work it for too long. When it's all together, I'm going to finish it off by hand and bring everything together. So the way I do it, roll it over itself like this. Turn it around and roll again like this. That's what I call the top and the bottom. And roll with my thumb inside the dough. Top and roll. And this technique there, you can use it for every dough. You can use that for pizza dough, baguette dough, anything. It's a good alternative ferment. That's all there is to it. So you can see my dough there. It's quite firm, but it's all mixed properly. And that's going to go back into the plastic bowl, and that's going to ferment for about 24 hours, ambient. Don't put it in the fridge. Leave it ambient, at least 18 degrees, but 20, 25 degrees is perfect. Also, it's been nice and develop the flavor and the texture inside. But it's loose on top, just like this, and leave it somewhere in your kitchen, ambient, and you'll be fine for about 18 to 24 hours. So see you later. So if you remember the stiff ball of dough we had in the bowl there, if you look close in here, I can smell it already, the acidity, but I love this. Look at this. Look at that texture there. This is gorgeous. And the smell, it's like lactic acid. It's beautiful. This is what I call my scaffolding for my dough. That will give me structure, extensibility. So now it's time to make the ciabatta dough. Okay, now I'm ready to make the dough for the ciabatta. So the process is simple. I'm going to put my water into the bottom of the bowl and drop my ferment onto the top. Splash myself. Then the flour goes on top. So you don't have to break your ferment down. You leave it in there as it is. Fresh yeast. Again, if you can use dried yeast if you want to. I don't use a dough for this. Any soft dough now, I use the paddle. You cut your mixing time down quite a lot, and also your hydration. You can put much more hydration into your dough. It's amazing. Try it. Of course, if you don't have a mixer, you can do it by hand. Get a big bowl and work the ingredients the same way as we do it now, but work it really well. Whip your dough into the bowl and use my technique, the slap and fold technique. Don't knead the dough and add flour to it, okay? That's what gives you the lightness of your ciabatta. So we start on slow speed to blend your ingredients very well together. I'm letting the water absorb into the flour before I put the olive oil. I smell it already, all the ferment, the biga. And drip my olive oil in there. So we've been mixing for 5 minutes now, and all the oil is well absorbed now. I can't see any more oil in there. So I'm going to increase my mixer now to medium speed, and the dough will come very quickly together. So I'm going to mix it out for about a minute or two, and then I will add my salt. And after 1 or 2 minutes, the dough should be ready. Okay, so the salt goes in now. So it's fine sea salt. That will bring the dough together. I'll do a quick check now to see how my dough is going, and give it a good pull, and see how the strength is. That looks pretty good. Maybe 30 seconds, and we'll be ready. Okay, dough's ready now. Let's play. Okay, so look at this. I love that. Isn't that beautiful? The power of dough. So clean your paddle. And now I'm going to show the dough's boss, aka me. So with dough, you can't just put a piece of dough like this to rest. You need some shape, you need some strength into that dough. So with your scraper, just bring it together and form that beautiful top there. So already, this doesn't stick. A bit of strength there. And that's got to rest now, but you can see, look at the air pocket in there. Look how beautiful that is. You can see it's alive. I'm going to use a bit of olive oil, the olive oil on top. Give it a nice rub in a container. Look at this. Look how beautiful that is. And that's going to leave it that for about 45 minutes, 1 hour. We'll give the dough a turn to reinforce that strength. And after another half an hour, 45 minutes, another turn. And half an hour later, we can make our ciabatta. Go to sleep, baby. Okay, so now I'm going to show you and teach you how to fold your dough, give you more strength over time. So after the dough was made, we put it into the container. We left it for 45 minutes, we give it a turn. And now it's been rested for another 45 minutes. And now I can show you how I'm doing it. So, you can see how the dough there. What you don't want to do is to go there and punch crap out of it, but it's just to keep that top on top. So you can release the dough with a scraper if you want to, on the side, and then with your hand just fold it over itself, like this, like this. That's all there is to it. You can see how nice and strong that dough is. Beautiful. And we'll leave for another half an hour, 45 minutes, and then we make the ciabatta. Okay, so we gave a turn 45 minutes ago. The dough now has rested again. It's time for the ciabatta. It's so light and beautiful. So the trick now is to cover your wooden surface or any work surface with flour. Fine semolina, you can use cornmeal. Flour is the most used. So take your dough there and tip it over, upside down. Shouldn't stick. Beautiful. Before you touch it, put more flour on top. All that flour, you can brush it, sieve it back, so you can use it again. It doesn't go to waste. So the top of my dough now is underneath. You can see how light it is. So the temptation now is to go too heavy with it. Just gently like this. You don't have to degas it too much. Just there, that's enough. I got a wooden board in here. Again, we're gonna cover it with flour. You can use a wooden board, good scraper, and cut your ciabatta. So you can see this make quite a few. So cut your strip like this, and then you can make some long ones, some shorter one. It's completely up to you. So when they're there, you lift it and just place them top down on the board. Make some short one. So that's perfect for rolls and sandwiches. Or you can be fancy and do some kind of ciabatta baguette. Like so. 5-10 minutes is fine. Cover them. That gives me time to clear up the bench in here and get set up for the oven. Okay, time to bake. So I'm using some baguette peels from my school, which I use them for baguette or any long bread or short to go in the oven. You can use a big peel if you got to, depending on how many you're making. In the dome, we can do probably two ciabatta at the same time. And don't worry, the dough is absolutely fine while you're waiting for the next batch. So, do you remember the top of our dough is underneath now? So what we'll do is take the ciabatta gently, turn it over, and then lift it gently. Put your finger underneath. Don't put your thumb on top, and just stretch it just with your finger underneath, very gently there. Fold over. So I got this ready to go in the oven now. So we're going in. Doors on, and we put the steam. I got this much water. Let's drop it in. So I can hear the steam doing its job in there. I got the stove is about 260, so we've got a probe to check it out, and the temperature of the dome is about 330, 340. Unlike a pizza or some of a flatbread, that's going to take a bit longer to bake in a dome. So what you don't want is too many flame. You want a lot of cinders and a lot of embers going down slowly. So you keep the heat gently going down, not fierce heat. So you don't burn the outside of your bread and the inside still raw. And now we're just waiting. When you bake the ciabatta for the first time on a dome, it will take a bit of practice. And the main thing is when you put your steam in there, don't open the door for these 5 minutes. Let the steam do the job. What is going to happen is going to soften the crumb a little bit and leave the heat to expand inside. So after 5 minutes, then you can open the door if you want to have a look. But leave it for 8-9 minutes, and then you can start swapping them around. You have more heat with the wood on one side, so keep swapping them around. I've done that once or twice already, but now they should be ready, so come have a look. So my oven is down to 250 now. But beautiful, that's it. Look at this, beautiful. And light as a feather. I cut one up. You should leave it cool down first, but it's always tempting. Don't burn yourself. Look at this, absolutely stunning. Steaming hot, beautiful ciabatta. I hope you can make it at home too. So I made a lot of ciabatta, and you can end up quite a lot. There's one thing I love doing, is what I call pizza bread. So instead of using dough as a base for your pizza, you can use half a ciabatta. It's a great way of using stale bread, or even fresh if you want to. So let me show you. So I'm using a big, heavy bottom tray in here. If you use a thin one, you don't have to preheat it. This one is just gently preheated. You take your half ciabatta in here, like this, and you put a bit of olive oil on the bottom. And then if you got some roasted garlic, you can just squeeze bit of garlic on top, delicious. Rub it in, don't be shy. And then you can use some tomato passata, pizza sauce. You put this on top like this. Not too much, just enough to get enough moisture into the bread. The good thing, you can do this in the morning, leave them in the fridge all day and bake them when you want. Tomatoes, of course, some sliced tomatoes on top, Parma ham, sunrise tomatoes. You can really go wild and do whatever you want with this. Bit of fresh basil, some olive, some olive on this one too. Any type of mozzarella you can use. Gruyere cheese if you want, but mozzarella of course will melt beautifully on top. And then maybe some chopped mozzarella, a lot of cheese. Good, bit more olive oil of course, and black pepper. Like I said, bake this now, or put them in the fridge, cover them, and when you want them, put them in your oven. Here we go, look at this. That's about 15 minutes in the oven at about 300 degrees. Look at that. We got some pecorino and some basil, bit of olive oil, blitzed together. How beautiful is that? Bon appetit. And that's mine. So there it is, my ciabatta recipe. I hope you enjoyed it. I really did. All the recipes, go on gozney.com and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Okay? À bientôt. Ciao.